All right, I'm Ryan Fenton here in Austin, Texas, on South Congress, one of the iconic streets here in Austin. And I'm here with Dan Schade, GM of the Americas for On.
Yes.
What is that? What does the GM of the Americas for On do? And thanks for having us here, by the way.
Hey, thanks for being here. It's an exciting day for us. We're so excited to be here in Austin. GM for the Americas is a chance to bring the brand to life throughout the Americas. Big part of that is kind of what we're doing here today, bringing beautiful brand expressions to life, in this case through our new store in Austin, Texas, on South Congress. We're pretty excited about it.
Yeah, new store. So why are we here? It's the grand opening of this On store on South Congress. So just curious, why Austin? Why is there a presence here? The reason for you guys to invest in Texas?
It's not just because I've lived here for 6 years and I love this city, but we see so many synergies between Austin as a city and what kind of drives it, and On as a brand. I think of Austin, I think of like creativity, and I think of innovation and design, and a lot of that is kind of core to who we are. I also think about running and movement in this city. There's such a strong and rich run culture here. You wake up at 6 a.m. and you're already late to the trails, like they're packed, right? So it's really a place as a running brand and a brand that focuses so much on running to connect with that community in a really authentic way. So very early on in our journey into our own retail stores, we decided, hey, Austin has to be one of the first, and that's what we're doing here today.
Authenticity, you mentioned. How does that translate to what we'll see here in Austin? What should people expect?
For us, it's really about community first and innovation. So the programming that you'll see come to life is probably well represented by what we're doing here today. This morning we had 270 runners from the Morning Joes here at 6 a.m. demoing shoes, connecting with each other. Our mission is to ignite the human spirit through movement, and we think if you do that in community, it's even more powerful. So for us, it's about connecting product to that emotion and centering innovation and running as part of the conversation, but doing it in a way that like brings a lot of the different members of the community into that conversation.
How does the retail space, the On dedicated retail space, fit within what you guys are doing? You know, you think about distribution of footwear and apparel, and you're online, you're in other stores, you're in specialty stores. Like, why the dedicated retail space for On? How does that fit?
I think there are a lot of really complementary things about being with great wholesale partners, being easily accessible online through e-commerce, but also having this really rich experience that you're seeing around you here. We're really able to go really wide in our storytelling, but also really deep. So we're bringing to life innovation across footwear, apparel, accessories, but categories, not just running, but also training and being outdoors on trails or hiking, being on court, or just moving as part of your lifestyle. So it's the ability to express the full brand in such a rich, meaningful way. And since we're a brand that's really about innovation, being able to like touch and feel the product is just such an important part of understanding what makes us different and unique.
Yeah, you walk in here and you see the walls of the shoes and the apparel. Like, how does the product drive that kind of inspiration for the athletes or the runners or the local community? Like, what are you hoping they get when they come in here and have that experience?
I hope it's a place where they feel really comfortable and able to connect with others. When you move in groups, I think a lot of barriers fall, right? You can make connections between people really easily. So first, it's about community and connection, but our products are inspired by athletes, and our innovation comes from these really deep partnerships we have with athletes. So an example would be the Cloud Boom Strike light spray that Hellen Obiri first ran in Boston this year when she won that event, and ran in again in Paris when she won the bronze medal. And you kind of see this beautiful shaping of the product through that partnership, and it creates this need to innovate. And then our core competencies of design and engineering being Swiss shine and bring this innovation to market. But it's also about the experience that we want our athletes to have in product, but that we can translate to the everyday runner or the everyday athlete. So we really want this to be a place of discovery where you can, for yourself, feel what our innovation serves. And it really is about what you feel when you're moving, because we know movement is this connection to something much greater and much more important.
You mentioned Helen Obiri, some elite names our audience at FloTrack resonates with. I think a yard and a goose, Olympic medalist, the whole OAC. How does, everything that, kind of what you guys do on the elite side translate into this retail space, and then vice versa, like the products here, what are we seeing on the floor that we might see on a Helen Obiri, a yard and a goose, so these athletes?
It's such a strong partnership. One of the things that I find most inspiring about On is how we're partnering with our athletes and really centering the whole person, not just a performance in that relationship. So that partnership, I think, breeds a lot of trust. That trust means, hey, we're experimenting together, we're learning together, and then you kind of power that with our innovative way of thinking and bringing new technologies to market and new uppers, new midsole materials, tweaking everything, investing a lot in R&D. Sustainability is a huge pillar of our brand and one of our biggest values. So being able to find partners that also believe that performance and sustainability are not these two separate things, but are actually something that are inextricably linked. These are the types of things I think make our relationship with our athletes special and inspire so much of the product around us. A lot of our apparel has athlete insights built into it, same with our accessories and of course our footwear. So almost everything that surrounds us, it comes from this partnership and from this inspiration, the way that it forces us to think differently and to innovate.
I remember when Andy Weeding started it On, he sent me an early pair of shoes, early as a few years ago, and seeing kind of the innovation and the progress with the product alongside the progress with the elite side of what you guys are doing, in the world of running. Like, it seems like that's kind of moving in tandem. Would you say that's true, or like how do you guys marry those two worlds?
They're completely moving in tandem. It's the partnership that creates the idea that turns into the innovation that flows through as product. So those two things move in unison. It's been really fun to watch that pace of innovation on the performance side, but also this link we find between performance and a wider audience. So you see our athletes feeling really, really proud of what they're bringing to market, like feeling ownership over product, knowing they had such a hand in shaping it. And then you're seeing that product connect to such a wide audience because it's authentic and it comes from this really authentic place. So it's been really, really cool to watch that team grow, which comes from our sense of what partnership and teamwork means in a professional context between athletes, but also between athlete and brand. And then watching that create a ton of incredible product. So yeah, they're completely linked.
You talked about authenticity here in Austin, these local running communities at these retail shops. Some of the core of our audience, high school, college athletes. How does On look to be authentic in that space?
We've got a pretty wide assortment of products. So as we partner with athletes and we bring innovation to market, it starts as something that Helen's going to run Boston in. But very quickly, we're able to translate that experience, those technologies, into a much broader assortment. So we really feel like we've got products that speak to a lot of different athletes at a lot of different points in their career as an athlete or their experiences as an athlete. And we're a brand that I think connects really organically through team, like OAC is a wonderful example of that, through product as we translate elite performance product into a lot more accessible or democratic versions of that product, and then through the experiences that we can create in a space like this. So this is a place for community, it's a place for team, it's a place for people to come together, and we're excited to bring that to this city for the first time in Austin and in Texas. And I think it'll be a really, really wonderful place for those teams to really examine and think through, like, what does team mean? And the example from OAC is team is how you propel individual performances to this incredible level.
We've talked about a lot. We've talked about authenticity. We talked about kind of the core characteristics of On, elite athletes, these local community, all these things. What gets you most excited about what On is doing and looking ahead in the future towards?
Our mission is to ignite the human spirit through movement. And the reason that we have that as a mission is because we know that there are a lot of challenges facing humans. And in this state, after you've moved and maybe you're doing it in community, you're able to think much more creatively. You're able to collaborate better. There's a lot of science that kind of supports this idea that movement is just so important to the human experience and to kind of taking things to the next level. So I'm very passionate about that, and I feel that every day myself. The other thing that inspires me is innovation and bringing something new to the athlete and to the world at large. So being at a brand that has this kind of recipe for innovation and this deep belief in how important running is and innovation is just this beautiful marriage of a lot of the things that I personally value, but it's also really, really encouraging to see it come to life, see other people connect to it, have it find such a large audience that we can have a beautiful store like this to even more deeply tell that story. So for me, it's like every day there are a few incredible moments of either using the product and having this emotional connection or getting super excited about what we're bringing to market and the stories we're telling and how that's going to connect to an audience.
Really cool. Well, Dan, we appreciate you having us here.
Thank you.
Excited for the new shop. If you're in Austin, Texas, come take a look at the shop. Take a look at the events they have going on, the community runs, all those things. My question is, when are we going to have OAC here leading a run that we can go jump into?
Hey, their schedule brings them to Austin a few times, so they love getting out in the community and they love being a part of what we're doing. So it's really just when are they here and when are you here?
Love it. All right, cool. Well, definitely when you're in Austin, come check out the shop. Thanks again for showing us around, and we will see you guys here soon.